You have to understand, all the books I've written, everything has been to my 12-year-old self. Quiet as it's kept, I have never gone past 12 years old in my head. It's funny, I have kids that are older than me, literally. So I've always been this 12-year-old, and to me, it's a viable, beautiful moment in life. It's scary, it's frightening, it's just everything is more important than you've ever realized. Like my whole life, that my 12-year-old self is like, everything was in day glow and it was super important. And I feel like it's a moment of transition for so many young people, that it's such an important time, and I want something to help them get through. And they look at people like me and say, well, he's always been Terry Crews. He's always been this. He's always been that. The whole point is to show that, man, look, I was just like you guys. I mean, I was a bedwetter. I was a nerd. I was, embarrassed by many, many things. I teased other people. There were a lot of things, a lot of things I learned by mistakes that I just wanted to really just reiterate to kids about, man, you guys, if you see me make it, I know you can do it too. Books are your friends. They reinforce your dreams. This is also how you learn, but also they take you out into they take you out of your surroundings. I was a big reader as a kid. There were some things that, I came up in an abusive household, and that was the only way I escaped. I escaped in graphic novels. I escaped in children's books. I escaped new worlds. And then also, there's another thing where there are things you learn morally and spiritually that you just only can get in a story. You know what I mean? Like, if someone told you or preached to you, it's almost too on the nose. It's like, but in stories, you start to understand. It's a much deeper understanding. And I'll never forget those things in those stories that I always read when I was a kid, where I was like, man, I got that. I mean, even in a movie, when you see Star Wars and the whole thing, when you talk about the Force and, do or do not, there is no try. You never forget that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, this is where the rubber meets the road. And through a great story, and by reading a great story, it can change your life. I do attribute it a lot to just daydreaming a lot. I used to sit outside, actually sit in my room and look outside and dream and see my future. And I would spend hours doing that, listening to music and dreaming about what it is I wanted and seeing my future. Again, when I was a kid, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have that kind of thing. But I would encourage young kids to turn the phone off and just imagine your future. Imagine yourself where you want to be. And what's really strange in a great way is that you slowly start to go toward it. Whatever you see and whatever you imagine, you're on your way there. I am living the life that I dreamed right now. And I can tell you that there's so many things where I was like, wow, what would I do if that happened? And that happened 10 years ago. And I'm going, man, I can't believe. When I got the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I was just going, wow. I could hardly sleep that night because I was like, this is way beyond what I ever imagined. You know what I'm saying? And it can be like that for everyone.